Imagine trying to buy a delicious sandwich today, but instead of handing over cash or tapping a card, you have to trade a super angry live goat. Welcome to ancient history, where every single grocery trip required a wheelbarrow full of squawking chickens and a massive amount of patience. Before money was invented, humans used the barter system, which was basically real-life trading with zero refunds and maximum awkwardness. Need a haircut? That will cost you 2 heavy sacks of grain and your grandma's secret stew recipe. But then one day, someone said, what if we invented something way smaller than a cow that literally everyone wants? Get ready, because the true, untold story of how money was created is wilder, dumber, and way funnier than your history teacher ever told you. Thousands of years ago, if you had a craving for fresh apples, you had to hunt down an apple farmer who specifically wanted your hand-woven wool socks. If he already had enough socks, you were going home starving and defeated. It was like trying to swipe right on a dating app, except the match condition was, I have salt, you have a shovel, let's make a deal. It was totally exhausting. Eventually, smart humans realized they needed items that everybody valued, so they started using cows, sheep, and heavy sacks of barley as official currency. Imagine pulling up to a shoe store today and paying 3 cows for a pair of sneakers. Good luck fitting your wallet into your back pocket when your wallet eats grass and moos at night. Around 1200 BC, people in ancient China realized carrying cows around was terrible, so they switched to shiny cowrie shells. They were lightweight, rare, and impossible to fake. That's right, the ancient economic world ran entirely on seashells. It was like being the richest kid on the beach, except you could actually buy dinner with your shell collection. Meanwhile, on the remote island of Yap, islanders created rye stones, massive, heavy carved limestone wheels that could weigh more than a family SUV. Because the stones were too heavy to move, people didn't even move them to pay for stuff. They just stood there and agreed. Yep, that giant boulder over there now belongs to Bob. Talk about the original contactless payment. Around 600 BC, King Aliats of Lydia, in modern-day Turkey, minted the world's very first official standardized metal coins made of electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver. Finally, no more hauling 3-ton boulders or feeding your cash herd of sheep. You could just jingle a handful of shiny metal discs in your pocket and feel instantly wealthy. To stop greedy fakers from making counterfeit coins, the Lydian king stamped every official coin with a royal lion's head emblem. It was the ancient version of the verified blue check mark on social media. Except if you tried to fake the king's seal, you got thrown directly into a pit of actual hungry lions. Clever medieval crooks quickly invented a scam called coin clipping, shaving off microscopic gold bits from coin edges, keeping the dust, and spending the smaller coin at full face value. To defeat coin clippers once and for all, mints started carving tiny ridges along the outer edges of coins, which is why modern quarters still have bumpy edges today. By the 7th century, wealthy merchants in Tang Dynasty China got sick of hauling wagon loads of heavy iron coins that literally pulled their pants down, so they invented paper banknotes. At first, people thought trading a flimsy piece of paper for a real horse was absolute insanity. It was basically like buying a luxury sports car with a paper napkin that says, "Trust me, bro." When European explorer Marco Polo visited China in the 13th century, his jaw hit the floor when he saw Emperor Kublai Khan printing money on black mulberry tree bark. Polo rushed back to Europe shouting, "They buy stuff with tree paper." But Europeans laughed, called him a lunatic liar, and refused to use paper money for another 300 years. In Renaissance Italy, goldsmiths began storing rich people's gold in heavy secure vaults and handing out paper receipts. Soon, merchants just traded the paper receipts directly instead of lugging around heavy gold bricks. And just like that, modern commercial banking was born. You handed over your real gold. They gave you paper, and everyone crossed their fingers that the vault wasn't secretly empty. Fast forward to today, and less than 8% of all the money on planet Earth exists as physical cash. The remaining 92% is just digital ones and zeros flying between bank supercomputers. We went from bartering screaming live goats to tapping a plastic rectangle on a glowing screen. If a caveman saw Apple Pay today, he'd lock himself in a cave thinking we're dark sorcerers. So the next time you tap your phone for iced coffee, remember, You are taking part in a 5,000-year-old human comedy that started with shiny shells, heavy rocks, and angry livestock. Thanks for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe for more hilarious history, and remember to guard your goats. See you in the next video.